I enjoy talking with my friend Nigel. Nigel and his family live in Canada, BC, Canada. I met him quite a while back, and he didn't have cancer then. We both have cancer, the same kind of cancer, I think. And when he calls and talks with me, he makes a lot of sense what he says. When I first met him, we must have talked for about an hour. He didn't have cancer. He was an athlete. He was a cyclist. He would ride his bicycle for hours. He was fit, trim, looked like a hunk of a man. Just healthy as could be. But we talked, and he'd gotten away from church, and he'd gotten away from certain things. He changed his attitude and his life and his worldview. But we talked for about an hour, and he taught me a lesson. He spoke this lesson to me. He says, Jack, you need to live in the present, the N-O-W, today. He talked about living today. It seems to me that we're forever either living in the future or the past. We dream of what will be, or we relish the good old days. But he said to me, Jack, the past you can do nothing with. The future's not yours. All you have is today. Live your life to the fullest today. And I left him after maybe an hour or so talking with him, feeling uplifted, living for today. So the lesson today in our little video comes from Nigel. He was the one who birthed this thought and birthed this idea. Have you ever been in such a hurry to eat? You were so hungry, you swallowed your food and you didn't even taste it. Have you ever been in such a hurry, you're just gulping the food down like you're a contestant in a hot dog contest? Have you ever been in such a hurry to get from A to B that you failed to enjoy the journey? You didn't remember what you passed. You didn't remember anything at all about the journey. I don't know about you, but it seems to me we never really enjoy the moment. Nigel's favourite words, Jack, live in the moment. Live in the moment. And today's pace causes us not to live in the moment. We're concerned about the past. We're worried about the future. We're upset about this, that, and the other, and we pile all these problems. It's difficult to live life to the fullest. The first chapters in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, God gives us a formula for choosing life over death. And the first chapters of the Bible reveal our greatest weakness: failure to enjoy the moment. Enjoying what we already possess. It seems like we're either seeking to live in the future or the past, but we're never satisfied with the now. It's not like God didn't want Adam and Eve to eat of the tree or whatever, the fruit. It wasn't like God was trying to keep the tree, the fruit, all to himself, but he wanted them to learn to enjoy paradise. They squandered paradise. God gave them just one rule to live by. But by breaking that simple rule, in essence, they violated all the other rules. The 10 Commandments had not yet been given. But that one rule, that would break all of the laws. Violating that one command, our world was turned upside down. Man suffered, creation suffered, the world havoc. Again and again and again we see the results: death. The good book says in Romans chapter 13, verses 8 through 10, let no debt remain outstanding, except the continuing debt of love one to another. For he who loves his fellow man has fulfilled the law. You know the commandments: do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not covet, whatever other commandments there may be. This one rule: love your neighbor as yourself. Love God and love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no harm to his neighbor. No sooner is the world destroyed by flood than man tries to build for himself a tower. And there is man's relentless pursuit, always looking for something better, always looking for a new gadget, something stronger, something better. Solomon had the same problem in Ecclesiastes chapter 2. He said, I denied myself nothing that my eyes desired. I refused my heart no pleasure. But then he goes on to say, everything was meaningless. It was like chasing after the wind. He said, all my work, all my toil, all my fun. He said, somewhere in the equation of life, we need to figure out how to enjoy the moment. How do you enjoy right now? They squandered paradise, dreaming of something better. You know, let me tell you about my guard dog. I've got this ferocious guard dog. His name is Geordie Best. He's the best dog in the world. He sleeps on my pillow at night right above my head. But I think sometimes we're just like Geordie Best, my faithful dog. You know, Geordie Best, my dog's got a bed filled with toys. He gets new toys all the time. But you know the best moment in his day? When I take off my dirty socks. You know what he does? He grabs those socks and he wags that tail and he runs and he dares me, come and get them if you're brave enough. And he'll bark and he'll bite and he'll scratch. You're not getting these dirty socks. He's got a bed full of toys. And he'd prefer my socks to all the toys that he has. I think if we're going to have peace and joy and happiness and satisfaction, I think the only way to find satisfaction in this old world is to invite God into our lives moment by moment by moment. I think that's the answer. The only way to live in the N-O-W is to have God in our lives at all times, moment by moment by moment. Jesus is life. He wants to give us life. He wants to give us hope, satisfaction, and joy. Just think about him. Please have a wonderful day. May God bless you.